thank you very much for watching or listening. Liam Hartree back with you today with another episode of Presenting Champions for the Simply Inspired podcast. And today I'm here with episode 449 and I'm joined by Gypsy Joe Smith, one of the roughest, toughest fighters in the UK, very skilled fighter, veteran of over 100 fights with a really inspirational story as well in terms of his background, where he comes from, a fighter that a lot of people have heard of, but not a lot of people know the backstory behind where he comes from, why he does what he does. So today we'll be having a quick chat with Joe, maybe about half an hour or so, just a little bit about his background, some of his proudest moments, future plans, and some cool stuff like that. So I want to say, Jam, first and foremost, big thank you for coming on the show, and really appreciate you making time for this. And I think this is the first podcast you've done. Is that correct? Am I correct in
Yeah,
saying? Okay.
yeah, that's correct. I
Wonderful.
appreciate having a time on your podcast as well.
It's my pleasure. Like I say, I mean, it's one of those things where a lot of people have heard about you. You know, a lot of people have heard, about your fights and everything, but not a lot of people know, like, the behind the scenes. We want to show a little bit of that. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you something real easy, but kind of cool. Is there's a great painting of you on the wall behind there? I think I may recognize the artist, but you can tell us who painted that and what's the story behind that one, champ?
What it is, my friend got it done for me, he did, and because my mate Edward's like he's put all the support into me as from day one, really getting back into boxing, and he got me this as a surprise, really. And to be fair, it took me back a bit when I seen it, like, do you know what I mean? But it's one of them paintings that's got a million words into it, like, do you know what I mean? Tells a
Absolutely.
story. The painting tells a story itself, like, really.
100% it does. 100%. Yeah, great painting, and it really shows, how much respect that you've earned in the fight game. And yeah, and obviously, I want to talk real quick on the subject of this about the one you've got coming up very soon now, because anyone who's watching this later, we're doing this January 22nd, and obviously you've got a big fight coming up very soon. So, can you share with us how that's preparations are going for February and how you're feeling on the build up to that, and just anything you'd like to say about it, please, mate, would be awesome.
Yeah. What it is oh, sorry, mate, I've just gone blank there.
That's okay. That's okay.
um,
Yeah, you've been training
it's
hard, though. You've been training hard, haven't you? Let's start there.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I train it every single day without fail. I'm at the gym constantly. I train 2, 3 times a day, mostly every single day. So I'm up in the mornings, I'm out running every single morning. Then I'm in the gym, and then I'm in work, and then I'm back in the gym, and then I'm back out on the streets on the road again. Then once again, just trying to build up my fitness and trying to bring myself on as much as I can, really, for this big fight coming up. Like, but
Absolutely.
it's one of the biggest opportunities I've ever had, really. So I'm just trying to grab it with both hands.
Absolutely. And tell us a little bit about the show, which show it's on. In fact, just in case anybody doesn't know, most people will, but in case they don't, tell us a little bit about the show, mate.
Yeah, I'm fighting on it's a BYB is called. I'm fighting in a triangle. It's a well known show, and just honoured to be being able to fight on it, really. And
Absolutely.
something that I've been very interested in a long time, and to get the opportunity that I have now is just unbelievable, really, mate.
Absolutely. Now, how many fights have you had all in all? Because it's quite a few, isn't it? I mean, you've been a very big
Yeah,
boy for
I've
what,
had a lot of fights.
over 100?
I've Oh yeah, over 100. Yeah, definitely. A lot. I've had a lot. I've been boxing since the age of 10, really. Um, yeah, but I've had a lot of fights, and then I come out of boxing through um with a bit of a depression and injury and stuff, and then managed to get myself back on track, as I say, with my mate Edwards and Cockles and bringing me back into the fight game. And there's nothing more I can really do is be appreciated for what they have done to bring me on to where I am today, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing I think is really cool about your story is you kind of hear about you going around, all these different fights and things like that. But like I said before, people want to know a little bit about the behind the scenes. And everything I bring up, by the way, it always has that meaning of like, a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of positivity. I mean, I don't want to bring up anything negative. It's all I'm always thinking like, okay, are other people going to benefit from that? And obviously, one of those things is the stuff that you've overcome as a as a youngster and when you were growing up, and you've been through some hard times there. And like I said, I don't really want to dwell on a negative, but I actually think it's really inspirational how you've overcome some stuff. Can you share with us a little bit about like your background and where you're originally from and a couple of things like that? Anything you feel comfortable sharing about that, basically?
Yeah, no worries. I'm born and raised from Swansea. As I say, I've done boxing since I was 10. Um, yeah, I've been up against some top names in boxing, really. I've had some really good outcomes with it at the same time. But I stopped boxing for a while because I was suffering with depression and stuff, and it was hard to get back on track, as you say. But having the help and the support that I had around me was just amazing, really. And I couldn't be any more thankful than I was. Like at one point, I was suicidal, and it's not not a nice place to be in.
That's,
So boxing has really saved my life.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, I'm happy you're in a much better place now. I think we should take this opportunity to give a mention to, other people who are struggling, by the way, because that's one of the reasons why I do this, is to get that message out there. What would your advice be for anyone out there who's, in that dark place or going through that kind of hard time trying to keep their head above water and everything like that?
But there's going to be times where you think that enough's enough, and you can't come back from it. But I'm just living proof of that, really. I was homeless at one point as well, and I've managed to get myself back on track. But as I say, I couldn't have done it without the boxing and the support around me. But at the same time, it's been really, really hard. Like, to try and get where I am today now has just been an inspiration. But it is times where you think that you can't go on, like, but just believe in me that is it you can. Do you know what I mean? I'm living proof of that, that you can just get back up on your feet and keep fighting forward.
Uh,
And just
100%.
you just gotta keep going. You have got to keep going and grinding. You just gotta want it as well yourself, like.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta want to make a change. And am I correct in saying that your life has been a fight pretty much from day one? Because I think you mentioned when we were messaging each other setting this up that you were also in the care system as a youngster and you went through a couple of things. Am I correct in saying that? What sort of mindset did you have to get through those hard times as well? Did the boxing help you back then as well? Is it something that helped you focus through those times?
I, I was in care at a young age. I was, and well, I got once I was out of care and everything, and getting back towards with family and stuff. I got into boxing, but my father was he's a gymnastic and a fighter himself, like.
Okay,
So it's just been one of them things that has always stuck with me, and I just trying to be like a proud moment sort of thing, really. Try and follow in his footsteps sort of thing, really, but make my own way through life, if that makes sense.
absolutely, yeah. Well, this is why I think you're a massive inspiration, and people need to hear these things. Okay, so that's the mental health side, the upbringing. Talking about the fights themselves, can you share with us some of your proudest moments? I know it's a big question of the amount of fights you've had and everything, but if we focus on that for just a moment, can you share with us a little bit about some of your favorite memories? Maybe it's times when you won titles, or maybe it's times when you weren't expected to win, but you did anyway. Or I don't really mind which area is going to be for you, but the ones that are your personal favorites to look back on, basically.
My personal favorite of these, what's behind me now, is as I say, I got back into boxing. I had the phone call, and my first fight back was at Budo. I started fighting on the unlicensed scene. Um, I managed to start winning my fights and get into a good situation. And then I got asked then to fight on a show called Welsh Combats.
Yeah.
And that's where I started coming back, and that's where I first made myself to be a champion. Like I got offered a fight for the Welsh bare knuckle title, and someone pulled out. They did, so I was lucky and I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity that I did, and I went up against some top class fighters, and I managed to get through. It was a knockout stage, it was. So I end up knocking out two people in the first stage, and then I managed to walk away with the belt then. And as I say, I'm two division champion. I got the hybrid Welsh title and the bare knuckle Welsh title.
That is
They
fantastic.
are they are my best moments, really. I'd be honest with you, to walk away with them belts. It was just something that I didn't think that was possible after everything that I've been through, and to come away with it, and just shows hard work pays off. You just got to keep grinding.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this is the message I wanted to get out there, you know. The other thing I wanted to touch on as well as those amazing, amazing achievements is also
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I mean, incredible. You know, more than some people get in a lifetime, and you know, especially when you've come back from that, it's just shows people what's possible. You know, but I also want to mention about the toughest fights as well, because for you, I mean, the toughest fights probably been outside of the ring. You know, you've probably not even been in the ring. If you get what I mean, you know, fighting the depression and these other things. But you know, in the ring or any for any format that you've been in, which one stand out as being the most challenging, and how did you overcome it? In you know the toughest fights of your career.
So, the last fight was probably my toughest I've ever had, really, and I was um Corey Corey Griffiths, I think his name was. And to be fair with him, it was an all out war. Like it was a really all out war. Like we both took some crazy shots. To be fair, like, and for us both to walk away at the end of it is just beyond a joke. Like it was just crazy. To be fair, like for the shots that we took, and it was just outstanding boxing experience, really. And out of everything, all my fights in my life, that's probably the one that stands out the most for me, really.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, it's good memories, and it's nice to see your face light up with those good
Yeah.
memories. Well, what do your fans mean to you in terms of the people who pay tickets and the people who come and support you? And you know, they're very kind of vocal in their support. Also, you get some support on social media. I don't think you don't seem to be really big on social media, but in terms of really it being your thing, like you're doing it for that reason. No offense, I mean that as like in actually as a compliment, because you're like an old school, you know, you're like a throwback of you'll fight anyone, and I actually mean it in a good way. But when those people do support you, what does that mean to you personally as well?
That's, it means the absolute world to me. My following and everything has gone massive, to be fair now, but I'm only recently coming on social media and stuff because I say like I'm old school. That like technology and stuff like that are not for me. Like, but I've only really gone onto Facebook and Instagram and everything like that, trying to build up my following. But the support that I get with people sharing my posts, my videos, and everything, you know what I mean? It's one of them things that is unbelievable, really, for the support that I get. It's one of them things that I'm so grateful for, because if I didn't have the support of my friends, families, and fans, I wouldn't be here where I am today.
Absolutely,
But it's inspirational, mate. To be fair, it's emotional to say the least. Like,
absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things I see where you've got a lot of love, by the way, and that's what I was saying. I mean, in a lot of ways, that's what I'm saying. You know, some people now they do this to you know to be famous and to be well known, but for you, I know it's different because you're kind of in a lot of ways it's like you versus you as well. You know, especially with what you've been through. You know, coming back against that is you know absolutely shows so much courage, so much heart. Never mind all the fights you've had as well. So I love it. I absolutely love it. What about sponsors? And you mentioned earlier that people have helped you through the depression. I want to go a little bit deeper into people that you'd like to thank. I know you said thank you to them, but other people who've helped you, whether it's through training, through inspiring you, trying to help you mentally, whether it's sponsors helping you financially. I mean, it comes in different things, but I don't really mind what form it takes. But just there's a lot of good people helping fighters in general behind the scene. They don't usually get like the credit they deserve in a lot of ways, I would say, but obviously they don't do it for credit, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of good people helping people. So with the people who've helped you, who else would you like to thank, or have we kind of missed anybody that you'd like to give a thank you to?
Well, I've only recently started getting some sponsors in, but um, I've got a couple of sponsors in now, and to be fair, I couldn't do it without them. Like,
Mm.
um, I got a couple of scaffolding companies. Kingsley, his name is. That's one of them. Pinder, he's another one. He's a local shop down the road from me. That's helped me out a lot. Advanced Eating has helped me out in the past. Bill Will Building has helped me out in the past as well. Um, I've just got a couple of new ones just signing over now, but I can't say them off the top of my head because I've got to go through my phone to get them up. um, because it's all new for me now. This is, as I say, but
So
all my sponsors and everything, I should have wrote it down really. Um, because I would like to give a big shout out to every single one of my sponsors. And I couldn't do it without them really, because it has been hard. It's like grueling, grinding on my own, trying to make weight, eating good foods, getting the training, and just putting the effort in really. And having these sponsors now that I've got has just made it so much easier.
absolutely,
But
it's good to hear you're getting the support from them. And it's good to hear that people are coming through helping you. And I know obviously I kind of put you on the spot there, but don't worry too much because obviously as you get bigger now and you get bigger profile and you get on these big shows like this BYB and everything, then there'll be plenty of other opportunities for you to say thank you because I'm sure you'll be doing a lot more podcasts. I mean, I know I'm doing this today to kind of help you get things out there a little bit, but there'll be a lot more as well. So don't worry too much. So what are we talking about? Let's see. We talked about the toughest fights, the mindset. We talked about you overcoming the hard times and your upbringing. I think we've covered some good ground for like a first time you're getting your story out there. Is there anything else you'd like to mention in terms of the inspirational side? Because I do call my channel Simply Inspired to try and get like where you've overcome these hard times. Is there anything else you'd like to say to people out there who are listening to this, whether they're hearing your story for the first time or whether they already follow you and they're tuning into this? Is there any final words you'd like to say to them before we wrap things up for tonight?
from my personal experience, that's all I can say is get out there and grab it with both hands because there's no one else that can do it except for you. You just got to keep grinding at the end of the day and keep pushing forward. And there's going to be times where you're going to think that you want to give up, but you just can't. You just got to keep going. Like as I say, I'm not one of these people that will go around slagging other fighters off or trying to make myself out to be a better person or a hard man or whatever. I am who I am really, and you don't get through in life just easy. It's not easy to get through life. You just got to keep going on strong, and that's all I can say is just keep going, keep fighting on strong. And at the end of the day, if there's something that you really want, it will come. It will come in time.
Absolutely. Powerful message, absolutely powerful message. You remind me of that old saying of if you have a dream in life, you've got to fight for it. And I remember one of the
100%.
one of the fellas I used to know with this he used to say, I'm just trying to remember the phrase now. He used to say, if you fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp getting into Noah's Ark and it's starting to rain, you know, because you've got to take your place in it, and that kind of reminds me of you, you know. So anyway, champ, it's been a really good first attempt at this, you know. I mean, we got a little bit out there, and definitely will be more to come because obviously your profile's continuing to raise up. So I'm just happy for your success, obviously, but I'm also really happy that you're in a much better place now, you know, than where you were. Don't get me wrong. I know there's always going to be good days and bad days. It's the same for everyone. It's the same for me. Same for everyone out there. But at the same time, the fact you're doing, you know, you're happier and healthy, and you've got big success. You've got titles and everything, and I think it's absolutely amazing. So I'm happy for you. I'll be cheering for you in February as well. And I just want to say a big, big thank you from my heart for coming on the show, mate. Top man.
Thank you very much. I do really appreciate the time and the platform to be on and the help that you're giving fighters like personally myself. And it's one of them things I'm grateful for, really, because if it weren't for podcasts like yourself, putting people out there, we wouldn't have the chance, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's my pleasure. I mean, it's absolutely my pleasure to, to try and be a voice for people and share these kinds of messages. So, thank you, champ.
Yes, I would like to give a shout out to my sponsors. Is BYM Stores. They're a Swansea-based shop, and they've always been there through thick and thin with me to help me to achieve my dreams. Parsons Pickles is another one that is just amazing to get the support that I have off them. And Tuber Access Scaffolding, they're another one. And S'mores Training, they've helped me out so big, massively, and I would just like to say thank you very much for everything they have done to help me out to achieve my dream and get this far. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.